have a presentation on digital technology enabling connected citizen service by Amit Bansal, Senior Product Marketing Manager, Dynamics 365 and Power Platform, Microsoft India. Amit holds an experience in business development, key account management in defense, railways, key central government ministries in entire North India and East India states. His specialties include IT, sales, and marketing. Welcome, Amit. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Amit Bansal. We'll quickly start with the presentation that I have to make today. And basically, what I'm going to talk about today is that how the solutions from Microsoft, typically the Dynamics 365, can actually enable the citizens to have more and more connected services, and how this digital transformation is actually changing the lives at a ground level. However, before we do that, I just thought that we should just have a quick view at some numbers, some trends, which can actually give us some feelers that how are we looking at the digitization journey that government of India has embarked upon. So quickly on the next slide, please. So now, as we understand that digitization is happening and governments are under tremendous pressure to keep up with all the things like digitally engaging citizens, collaborating across organizations, building a millennial workforce, and then last but not the least, how to control costs. Let's have a look that what are the factors that are actually bringing this pressure more and more on government. So let's start with the digitally engaged citizens. So we all know that all over the world, people have access to technology that probably a few years ago seemed impossible. Now there are more devices than there are people on the planet. We have seen a surge of mobile devices in the people's hand today. Virtually everyone, everywhere has mobile access to the internet, social media, and the masses of data behind them. So we know that what kind of data have we created. However, the global trend says that only 45% of the citizens say that their government is actually understanding the digital trend and technology. At the same point in time, if we talk about collaboration across government departments, so again, government agencies have been trying to break down the silo and boost collaboration within internal departments, within a state, or even in the central government. But 75% of cross functional teams actually face challenges such as meeting a planned budget, staying on schedule, or meeting customer expectation. Also, if I talk about empowering your internal employees, again, collaboration is a very, very important milestone in building that millennial workforce. For years, we have seen that state governments, local governments, even the federal, central governments, they have had difficulty attracting and retaining the millennial workforce. And that is something also creating undue pressure on the governments these days. Another big issue is controlling cost, and we talked about it just at the start of it, that costs are being pushed up because there is a higher standard and a wider variety of public services. It is actually further driving the increased consumer experience expectation, and also somehow citizens are not very happy even though the cost is actually surging at all high level. At the same point in time, government balance sheets are under pressure to stay flat or decline. So controlling the total cost of ownership for the government, reducing borrowing deficits, and avoiding higher unpopular tax rises is also one of the pressures that government has to manage. And last but not the least, how do we secure the data? Now, governments have always been worried about security and privacy. And in an online world, given the recent data losses, government insider revelations, and both private and state sponsored hacking scandals, we have seen that security has now moved front and center as a top concern for all the governments. So, in the government sector alone, 13 million personal records were exposed in 2017-18, and government actually they around across the globe they are seeking trusted partnerships to enable their mission and insist upon security, privacy, compliance, and so on and so forth. So that increase in digital technology, if you can just move to the next slide, please. What do we have to actually see? We have to see that we have to have a new approach. In that case, we will have to bring a new approach which can give citizens a new secure way to connect. We will also have to look at an approach which can actually build citizen trust with superior customer service. At the same point in time, we will have to look at approach which can empower our employees to do more with fewer resources. We should also look at optimizing long term planning and controlling cost. That is also an important thing that we have to look at. Elets team, can you just move to the next slide? I'm on my next slide. Also, it is important for us to make informed decisions with a deeper understanding of citizen needs. That is an important thing wherein we need to have a new approach. Also, we have to look at offering a secure, managed, and compliant infrastructure to our internal government bodies so that they can better deliver the services to the citizens and the end customers more seamlessly. So, let's take a deeper look through the lens of one persona that we have created as an imaginary citizen story. So we'll just move on to the next one. Yes. Now, the top priority for any government is improving the lives of the citizens of a particular constituency, state, or even for that matter, an entire country. All the governments would actually need a solution that can help them engage with citizens and empower their employees and optimize government operations with stories like this one. So, over here, what we have actually taken an imaginary persona by the name Kavita. Let's have a look that how this whole thing would actually pan out. So let's assume that Kavita is an environment enthusiast who actually enjoy the outdoors. She loves to go to parks and all. So when Kavita is planning her next biking trip, she is actually purchases a park or a ticket for the pass on her mobile phone. After the purchase, Kavita is only a few clicks away from accessing the up to date information about the park she's about to visit, probably the cost, the activities that she can undertake in that park. And when Kavita arrives at that particular park, she discovers that there's a giant mess on her campsite. With the digital enabled government, what Kavita can do is she can take a photo on her mobile device just to submit a request for the cleanup. From that mobile device to call center, Kavita can connect securely everywhere with just a click of a button. So, automating government system means using less resources, reducing human error, and giving employees back valuable their time. Over here, what we can say, the local park or the state park can quickly evaluate the scope of work or the incident that Kavita has highlighted, and they can also speed up the issue resolution. So these technologies make it possible for any government agency to achieve their desired outcome at the right place at the right time. Also, what we have seen over here, the state park department, or let's say the municipal department in that particular state, can analyze Kavita's case here, amongst other, just to address the long-term need for garbage sensors, and government then can optimize long-term planning, control costs, and overall work on the citizen sentiments also. So let's do a deep dive into this Kavita story and see how Microsoft Dynamics 365 can come into the picture and see what all things we can do from this particular case scenario perspective. Next slide, please. Now, today, citizen demands are at highest level. They would want customer service. They would want to have an ability to access government resources with the tools that they use every day. So basically, they want that whatever device they have in their hand, they can access all the government resources from that particular device, and they should also get a response on that device only from the government. So first and foremost, governments should offer citizens some convenient self-service option with 24 by 7 help portal. Basically, we have to provide an effective solution which can help promote citizen engagement and participation with personalized, accurate, timely, and convenient services. Also, we have to create a single point of contact for the citizens that can actually offer them a one-stop shop solution. Additionally, governments can also save time and better manage resources by enabling multiple touch points for the citizens. What does it mean? So, governments have discovered a cost effective way to deliver high quality citizen service. By simplifying the relationship with citizen, governments today eliminate multiple conflicting points of contact. Instead, provide them one point of contact or probably a web based portal. So that's where government can do further analysis of the higher call volume, specific pain points coming from the citizens, and permanently resolve the issues that are recurring in nature. Also, governments can centralize the information and make the most of up-to-date information accessible to citizens. So that is also one of the requirements that keeps on coming from the citizens. Governments can create central online resources where citizens can look up the information about the services they need anytime, anywhere, whether applying for permits, licensing, uh, paying bills, fines, or even logging some kind of service request. Even there has to be some public facing websites which can become an important and visible face of the agency or the government agency, providing one, if not the all important contacts, but at least some of the basic critical resources which can be consolidated and given to the citizen on their device. So these are the things which citizens today demand, and our Dynamics 365 solution can give you that. Once citizen connects, government should also be able to build that trust. So that is very important. And we will see in the upcoming slides that how are we doing that. Next slide, please. Now, building trust with the citizen, and that too with providing superior customer service. Now, this one is very important. Today, we all know that citizens demand a high level of transparency from their government. And how do we do that? By consolidating information and effectively organizing it by tracking the request, and also provide some kind of search tools wherein workers are themselves able to generate information and provide accurate information to the citizen. So basically, we need to have a portal for our internal employee force also, so that they can provide quick and accurate information to citizen. How do we do that? So with our solutions, it is more than possible to deliver fast and informed issue resolution with effective collaborative tools. Our workers can view the live updates of matrices such as request or completion date. They can use maps also to locate the issues. At the same point in time, they can review any previous activities associated with a request. With digitization, we can also empower the citizens to connect with their government on any channel, any device. So I told you in the beginning, today citizens demand that flexibility. So new mobile solutions include rapid response, mobile communities for government, social commands for government, and also some local agencies or state agencies can connect and respond to citizens on any device. So these are the things that we always support. Also, it is important that citizens want to connect through any channel of their choice, and they also want that response to their problems should also come on that particular channel which they have chosen. So they may contact you through some mobile app. They may also ask you to send an email in response, and they may also contact you through Twitter or expect you to respond via Twitter. So engagement on any channel is the key thing here. Also, by providing a common user experience, government can increase visibility across departments and increase citizen transparency. So, it is important that how do we provide superior customer service so that government should empower citizens. At the same point in time, we have to see that how we are internally empowering our own employees by giving them more information in order to further enable them to give that information to the citizen, and how do we optimize cost by using less resources. Next slide, please. Now this one is very very important because it talks about your internal employee workforce. How do we empower them to achieve more or do more for the citizens? Now we know that many field workers, or probably I can say the first line workers also, they are forced to use some outdated paper based systems without access to real time data. What if they never had to guess that what are the next steps that they should be taking? Process flows that are built in today's Microsoft Dynamics solutions, they can actually enable you to drive all the outcomes that you want. Today, our government can quickly respond with easy and accurate information, and that too with built-in automation if we go with these kind of solutions. So, as mentioned, Kavita, when she submitted her service request through a citizen portal on her mobile device, the request was sent to the queue of a field worker who can bring up all the details on his tablets, find the location where Kavita was standing, and then that person can enter all the data out in the field with no paper. At the same point in time, if Kavita wants, she can also add notes or images of the record, which can again be viewed by that service worker. All of this information can be viewed across departments. And when the request is marked closed in that console of the government, the system automatically sends a response to the citizen to tell that, okay, fine, it is now complete and we have resolved the issue. At the back end, a work order can also be evaluated automatically and created for dispatch. So, this is a cycle which can be taken for a request that was made in the earlier scenario by Kavita. Also, we have to increase agility and mobility so that our employees can always stay connected anytime and anywhere. Typically, for field workers, it is an important aspect. For them to stay connected and work on the go is a key element here. And that's where governments should mobilize their workforce, enable them to access trusted information securely, engage with their colleagues and co workers, and also collaboration is a key here so that they can serve better to the citizens and bring agility to the overall work that they're doing. So that's where we say that empowering our employees can actually lead to a long term planning and cost management and better satisfaction for the end citizen as well. Moving on to the next slide. Now, for more efficient and productive teams, optimize resource management across project and program is also very, very important. We have to assign resources through a consolidated scheduling experience across multiple modes of service just to ensure that right people on the right projects are working at the right time. Now, again, we have a solution from our Dynamics bouquet wherein we can actually bring all these things under one umbrella. What we have to do is we have to prevent reoccurring issues and get to the root cause of systematic problems with built-in intelligence. So basically, we have to ensure that government is able to monitor and prevent future reoccurring issues similar to like garbage overflow situation like Kavita reported, or probably give the government a system basis for initiation, planning, execution, close, and control of projects and service delivery. So, Dynamics Project Operations Application, it's a name of the workload under Dynamics 365 bouquet. The government can today connect all three critical management domains: the sales pipeline, the resource management, and the service delivery. It can actually help manage key service execution processes, including resource management, staffing, project management, collaboration, and along with time and expense capture. So, in case if you have to do even a billing part, that can also be ensured as a part of this particular console. Last but not the least is compliance. So, compliance and auditing is another top concern of the government. What do we do with that? So, basically, with this particular solution, we provide access to a full audit trail, ensuring compliance in a full regulatory framework to access dashboards, BI reports, and other tools just to ensure that the government is meeting the standards and the SLAs, and also gives visibility into the issues and brings transparency to the overall thing that they're managing. So, finally, a solution that is needed that lets you make your informed decision with deeper understanding of citizen expectation is one solution which we can bring by way of Dynamics 365. Moving on to the next slide. Now, we can assume that the better insight from data helps change the way governments and citizens they communicate and drive change. Again, Microsoft's self-service data tools provide a range of capabilities. It can help you to visualize your data, interact with the data, and also help government teams understand performance and identify the drivers behind the result. So, how do we do that? With our Dynamics 365 solution, we can help you to make your data driven policy based decision on actionable insights. So, let's go back to that Kavita's example that we just saw. Now, if we install some IoT sensors into that garbage shows a shift from case to case request to a preventive maintenance thing. With extended visibility into that data, government leaders or the department heads can extract deeper insights to make more informed decisions, and it can actually better serve the community. Also, we can review department activities and greater insight into the performance. So, what do we do with those reports? We utilize those reports that are visually compelling and interactive, linked to the data source so that they are always up to date, and we filter them by the type of request also. End of the day, we would gain a better understanding of where to focus our resources throughout the city, which department are handling the most requests, and which one sees the most demand. Additionally, shift from reactive to proactive process to address long-term citizen needs. That is very important. That is also very much required. And in this case, specifically, if you see this Kavita's case, it has improved parks by increasing overall cleanliness and long-term citizen sentiment. We can over here leverage our Power Apps, which is a low-code, no-code solution, and also the Microsoft Power Automate, which has an inbuilt robotic process automation bots also, which can compose some new apps and easily extend or probably modify the existing one also, and you can capture the value of your touch points. So with Dynamics 365, we can actually offer a secure, compliant infrastructure essential to protecting government agencies' services, as well as the data that they are gathering from the different citizens. Just move to the next slide, please. Now, this one is very, very important, and I'm also coming towards the end of my presentation. Basically, what we are seeing is that digital transformation is creating a new opportunity. And we have seen that everywhere. It's not that first time we are seeing this. It is important that how are we doing that digital transformation? So, with Dynamics 365, intelligent business applications can come together to facilitate this entire vision for digital transformation. Digital transformation is not simply about technology. It's a business strategy that requires our leaders to re envision existing business models and also embrace a different way of bringing together people, data, and processes to create value for their customers or citizens and capture new opportunities for the departments. So, what we have to do is for us, digital transformation means re envisioning how we engage with our citizens, how we empower our employees, how we optimize the government services, and how do we transform government services. So these are some of the few things that we have to look from digital transformation perspective. Next slide, please. So these are some of the resources which are available on Microsoft website. In case you want to evaluate any of these services platform that I just spoke about, please get in touch with your account manager and we will come and do a workshop free of cost just to understand that what are the pain points that can be addressed by our D365 solutions. And with this, I come to an end of my presentation. Thank you very much. Back to you, Deepak.
Thanks, Amit. It was an insightful presentation, and thank you for your presence here at the summit. Thank you.